Rohingya refugee crisis puts Malaysia to the test. Malaysia's agreement to give refugees with temporary shelter was a diplomatic triumph. It highlighted Malaysia's careful efforts to retain its regional commitment while assuaging home worries over illegal immigrants. The increasing number of Rohingya refugees may worsen Malaysia's social, economic, and hence gives negative impact on Malaysian citizens.
A large number of Rohingya refugees who enter Malaysia make the Malaysian government overwhelmed in providing service and food. The services that are provided are housing, education, medical, and work. And because the lack of this service and food that are provided by the Malaysian government fears that the refugees Rohingya can bring disease outbreak to Malaysian citizens. In this debate, the need for protection from forced migrants like refugees, Rohingya, and trafficked persons has often been so unhelpful and confusing to them that this issue has conspired to create a threat to the Malaysian government. In Malaysia, there is 2 until 4 million undocumented or foreigners living and working in a largely unregulated urban labor market economy. This has a very significant impact on the socio-economic situation and security of the country. It is also a highly debated and often polarized public issue in domestic and regional contexts.
I'm Dzulsalman. I will be talking about the education system issue. Regardless of their UNHCR refugee status, the Rohingya actually have no status, right, or basis to make any claims on the Malaysian government. However, Malaysia government recognized the need of basic education for the Rohingya kids as it is a tool used to eradicate the refugees from their current position. Education also will ease the assimilation process into the communities. The lack of education has serious effects on everyone, including the Malaysian communities. The refugees who are lack of education will encounter trouble getting ahead in life, have worse health, poorer than the well-educated, and this can also increase Malaysia crime rate. Other effects include shorter lifespan, unemployment, exploitation, and gender inequality. This will directly affect those staying around them as social ills will spread in the communities. Some Rohingya kids are being educated in the UNHCR and NGOs-run learning institutions in Malaysia. Some volunteers teach in the school are retired school teachers who are doubled up as trainers to train the Rohingya adults to teach the kids. These educators most of the time are overworked and some would leave their position as their working hours are too long. Some of these refugee kids are uncooperative and uninterested as the parents would prefer them to join the workforce. Dropout rate is high too due to their atrocious discipline problem and their priorities in life.
Since the Rohingya doesn't have no proper irrigation and education, it could create another bad pollution for Malaysian citizens. Rohingya people started to find their own source of income. One of it is by being beggars at the street. The high volume of traffic and congestion along the street had led the Rohingya children to base themselves in the area. Some boys can even become verbally abusive towards public people who refuse to give them money. Another case that has happened in Shah Alam, a road user here shared an anxious moment when a Rohingya teenager tried to open his car door when he stopped at the traffic light near the Batu Tiga interchange, asking for money from the road users. The tendency and the risk of violence towards Malaysian citizens is possibly high. Moreover, their action will harm their safety since they are stopping by from cars to cars at the heavy traffic lights, which could possibly cause an accident.
So in this case, the government need to improve the service system in registering all the refugees Rohingya who came to Malaysia. The government also need to increase security at various borders so that there are no more illegal refugees Rohingya that come to Malaysia. And then the last is for the government need to improve in education system for the Rohingya, like making a study card specifically for Rohingya refugees in Malaysia, where this card can provide assistance to refugees for entering any school or institution.